All right, looks like we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All right, so Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter is now up and running. So that's a plus. And what's going on, everybody? We're just getting everything fired up. Please note that right now you are seeing a starting soon screen going as we're just getting everything fired up. The podcast will be going just shortly. Just checking out a few more tweaks here. Going to make sure our audio levels are good for the intro of the show. This is a live recording of the Mark G Show. We will be taking in people that want to talk on the show. Tonight, it will be via the Wisdom app. If you don't have it, make sure you download the Wisdom app. You can download it on iOS or Android phones. I don't think it's available for the PC yet, but if you'd like to join in on the conversation, you have anything you'd like to say, feel free to grab that Wisdom app and join in tonight. The phone line is down until we figure out some more audio issues with it. I'm having problems with the one-way communication. Just going to double check with Gary, see if Gary is ready here. It looks like he is not just yet. I'm looking in the back studio, so we're going to give Gary just another second here. In the meantime, let's go ahead and I will get the intro out of the way. Should be able to get the intro. Gary's giving me the okay for the intro. So we'll go ahead and fire the intro out of the way, and then we'll come live.
A lot of podcasts these days. Tippy toe around everybody's little feelings. The little snowflakes are fragile. But you won't get any of that crap here. Welcome to the Mark G Show. From political issues to cultural issues to current events and everything in between, we're talking about it. And we talk about it how we want, melting the little snowflakes. This is the Mark G Show, and this is Mark G.
What is going on, everybody? We're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Wisdom. Man, we got a hell of a show for you guys and gals. A lot of things have happened over the week. One of the biggest things that's happened that we're going to be talking about is the Twitter files. Now, before I get and dive deep into these Twitter files, I do want to let everybody know there is a chance that the Twitter files part 2 will be getting released during the time of the show. And if they do, we will be reading those live on air as well. And for those who are listening later on Apple and Spotify and so forth, well, you'll get to catch it as we're going throughout the show. So make sure you stay tuned for all those Twitter files because they're bound to be very, very, very interesting.
Is it going to be the same? What is it, like Matt Taibbi? Is that the guy that?
Yeah, I think Matt Taibbi is the one that's going to be releasing it out again. So, which is going to be very nice. The only thing what I'm looking for real quick is I put them. Here we go. I'm finding the thread. It's so weird how this works. I've never seen the Twitter threads like I've seen the way they're doing this before. So like it took me a minute to go, what the fuck? How the hell are they doing this? But yeah, I kind of figured out this whole Twitter thread thing. So I'm getting used to it, man. I've never used to be a big Twitter fan, but I'm beginning to love Twitter quite a bit now. It's pretty interesting. But before we get into the show, let me first introduce everybody once again to my brother, who's also my co-host, Gary, sitting over there comfortably in his library. How's it going, brother?
Yes, sir. Going good. Going good. This is fun. I want to talk about this Twitter thing because I think it's fun. And I I have a friend that when Elon first mentioned about buying Twitter, my buddy was like, it's not going to happen. It's all for show. Like Twitter's not for sale. And I'm like, you don't understand how this stuff works, my friend. And lo and behold, it was sold.
All right. And it's very awesome. I'm so glad that he did buy it. And it's amazing the stuff that he's coming out with and that he's finding in the Twitter offices, like the Stay Woke shirts, like in the closet there, you found a bunch of Stay Woke shirts and shit. Like it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting. And it makes you wonder about a bunch of shit, to be honest with you. So folks, I've taken off my tinfoil hat because there's been a long time that people have said that my tinfoil hat was getting really tight on my head and cutting off the blood of my circulation in my head because for the past 2 years, myself, a bunch of other conservatives, Republicans, even a bunch of Democrats have also said that something was wrong. There's suppression happening, but there's a lot of deniers out there that said suppression's not happening. It's all lying. It's all a Russian collusion. I like to tell you that suppression's legit and it was happening. And these Twitter files is going to expose quite a bit of that. And I will say my lovely disclaimer, because we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And I'll get over to some comments real quick too, because I do see some over there. Folks, welcome to the Mark G Show. Everything that you're going to hear in tonight's show is the commentary of myself and my brother, as well as anybody who comes on the show via the Wisdom app that would like to talk. Anything we say is for entertainment purposes only. You can do with our information as you so please. I always say that no matter where you're hearing your information from, you should always research it yourselves and come up with your own conclusion of what you believe and what you think is real. It's ultimately up to you. But do your own research, really. It don't matter what news source you're watching. Do your own damn research. With that being said, we got a few comments here because we are live on a bunch of social media platforms. I've got Madison Lalonde saying hi out there on Facebook. What's going on, Madison? I've got Arda Ekachi over on YouTube saying you're the best. Thank you. I appreciate you. Unless you're talking to Gary, well, fuck him.
Definitely you. Definitely you, dude.
Madison Lalonde saying let's go. And Arda saying, when will you go back? All right, so yeah, let me clear that out of the way real quick. Let's talk about censorship. First and foremost, let's get that out of the way so I can get on with the actual show here. Yes, I was banned on TikTok for hateful behavior. I want to put it out there that I had no way, any means, was I doing anything with hateful behavior. I was playing a video game. For those who listen to the podcast, I also do game streaming. It's one of the other things that I do to relieve stress and keep my mind off of alcohol, because I quit alcohol a while back. And to help keep my mind free of going back down the alcohol train, I either dab into hot sauces and hot peppers, or I play video games, or I do like TikTok things, and it keeps my mind of thinking about picking up the bottle. I was playing Call of Duty Warzone. If you're a gamer, or if you've ever picked up that game controller before, you know games can be toxic. You know for a fact that you can start cussing, swearing, or yelling at people while you're playing a video game. It just happens. Hell, my wife was playing early, and boy, some of the words that are coming out of her mouth, that shocked the shit out of me. It was like, damn, she's getting mad. And she's playing the same game that they got me banned on TikTok. And, but the sad part is I wasn't saying anything. I got like these little sound bits that I use and stuff like that got me banned from there, I'm thinking. Or it was words, because Call of Duty has this thing, it's called proximity chat, where you can hear your enemies around you. You can actually hear your enemies talking, and people trash talk, man. It's just like when you play sports, football, baseball, soccer, or anything like that, you talk trash to each other. It's just what you do. Well, apparently someone's panties got all up in a bunch. It was too tight up their asshole that I got banned off TikTok, and TikTok agreed with them and said, no, you're not coming back for 7 days. So I'm sitting in a 7-day jail time with TikTok, because we live in a pussyfied nation. Now, with all that being said, let's get to these Twitter files before they release part 2. For the folks who just don't know why we're talking about Twitter files, listen, Elon Musk bought Twitter. And it's probably one of the best things that could have happened, because now a lot of stuff's being exposed. When Trump or other politicians are calling out saying that the Democrats were buying their way in, or had pull within the social media platforms, and people were saying it was a lie, I hate to tell you this, but it is not a lie, especially when it comes to Twitter. But now that we're seeing this coming out with Twitter, I would love to see the type of information that's out there on Facebook, Instagram, all those other social media platforms. Because listen, you're right. The First Amendment rights are not technically protected with a private company. But when that private company starts taking orders from government officials, that then turns into an attack to your First Amendment rights. And that's when that should physically scare the hell out of you. I don't care what political side of the fence you're on, whether you're the left, you're the right, you're the middle, or you swing everywhere and you're the LGBTQ of political sideness. You've got Because the best way of saying it,
Political trainee? What the
yeah,
fuck?
political training. You got to be scared shitless of this because this is not right. This is government overreach. And let's break down the Twitter files. Elon Musk posted.
What's the proper word now? Hold on. Is it trans political?
Maybe transpolitical. I think we just created something, Gary.
Trans-political. So like, someone's a Democrat, but they identify as a Republican.
As someone who is a Republican identifies as a Democrat.
So
transpolitical. Political trans.
Political. All right. All right. That's all right. Let's move on. Sorry.
For those who don't know, my face is officially completely red over here. It's great. All right. So just a few days ago, I believe it was on Wednesday. It was last Wednesday or Thursday, Elon Musk posted that the Twitter files were being released, and it was supposed to be released at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Never happened at that time. I think to be honest with you, I believe it was a build up to get that more traction. Elon Musk said it was for them to verify some more information before it was released. I don't know. It's either or. I think it was to build more attraction because Elon Musk is a genius, right? So he does things a certain way. And I know he was doing it to make sure he watches the algorithm and watches how these posts hit, who comments on these posts to catch more bots and stuff like that. Because alternatively, he's trying to get all these bots out of Twitter. So I'm thinking his mind worked that this is another trap to try to catch these bots and see what other bullshit's out there.
I'm just looking at the Elon's page, right? And it's just like people are just talking shit, right? Like someone was saying something's a problem, just blame Elon. Like his reply was fixed. It's just like they're not even, it's just like people have complaints, he's fixing it, and it's just like he's making everything better, and they're so angry.
Yeah, right.
Everybody, but you know what? I'll be honest, man. I've been using Twitter a lot more, and I can speak from at least my feed. I got one feed out of the X amount of millions that are on there, right?
Right.
I was like, every time I went on Twitter before Elon had it, like I would go on there and just like, it was just like, I just got this like overwhelming sense of like disgust from being on there. I got anxiety. Like it was not an enjoyable experience. Everything I saw was just propaganda and hatred. And now that that's all gone, I'm just like, these are like the actual people on here now. And like, I'm looking on there and I'm scrolling and like the feeds are way better. I don't know. That's just what I'm seeing personally.
No, I 100% agree with you.
And I haven't added or changed anything. I haven't done anything. I just go on and I'm scrolling. Like that's the only difference that I've done, which is nothing. Right.
Right.
So, yeah.
No, I mean, I'll admit I'm on Twitter a hell of a lot more too. And I never really was a big Twitter fan, but I'm enjoying it. It. Well, let's get into this for the people tuning in for what they're listening to, these Twitter files. So let's jump in. So alternatively, Elon did not post or go live. Like I originally thought it was going to be a live video. That never happened. He turned it over to Matt Taibbi. I want to say, is that how you pronounce it? Matt Taibbi. I'm really bad with names, so please, I apologize. And also, if anybody in wisdom wants to jump in, feel free to chime in. So Matt Taibbi released this on December 2nd at 6:34 p.m. I'm gonna guess that is Pacific time, as when he released it, because that definitely wasn't. No, actually, no, that was 6:34 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, because it was right before I had to go to work, and it pissed me off. So it was Wednesday. All right, so we're gonna start number one. It says thread. The Twitter files, that was number one. Nothing big there, right? So I'm just going to go through them and the number of steps that they got. There's like 36 steps in the first episode. Number two is what you're about to read is the first installment in series based upon thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter. So I'm guessing, I'm not sure who was able to give this information to him, but it's funny part is as we go through this, you're going to realize that the previous CEO had no clue what was going on at first.
Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey.
Right. Yeah. They kept him out of the loop for a little bit.
They did. So number 3, the Twitter files tell an incredible story from inside one of the world's largest and most influential social media platforms. It is a Frankensteinian tale of a human-built mechanism grown out of the control of its designer. Twitter in its conception was a brilliant tool for enabling instant mass communication, making a true real-time global conversation possible for the first time. Number 5, in an early conception, Twitter more than lived up to its mission statement, giving people the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers, which is great because now that's where it's at again. As time progressed, however, the company was slowly forced to add those barriers. Some of the first tools for controlling speech were designed to combat the likes of spam and financial fraudsters. Slowly over time, Twitter staff and executives began to find more and more uses for these tools. Outsiders began petitioning the company to manipulate speech as well as first, a little, then more often than constantly. I'm trying to scroll without going too fast over here.
No,
We're on
you're-
number 8.
You're good. It's a good speed.
We're on number 8 here. By 2020, requests from connected actors to delete tweets were routine. One executive would write to another, more to review from the Biden team. The reply would come back as handled, which is pretty cool from what you guys can't see. And I'm not going to show it on the video because I haven't figured all that good transition stuff out yet. There is a snippet of the email here from the Twitter, and it does show them deleting the files. And it does show the files being deleted. So we go to number 9. Celebrities and unknowns alike could be removed or reviewed at the behest of the political party. And then there's a picture of an email here that says, let me see if I can click on this by opening link a new window here. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure I'm getting all this here. I grabbed the first one under side, defer to safety on the high profile second one. This was sent on Saturday, October 24th, 2020 at 6:54 p.m. An additional report from DNC, and it gives a couple of status messages that I'm guessing were removed. And then it jumps down. It says both parties had access to these tools. For instance, in 2020, requests came from both the Trump White House and the Biden campaign were received and honored, however. So I'm gonna stop it real quickly right there just before we jump into number 11. So as of right now, as you can see at the early stages, both the Democratic and the Republican Party had these tools set forth to them where they could contact Twitter and have this done, right? So this is before things really heat up. So when I say that both political parties should be scared, this is what I'm looking at right here, because when you're looking at that, it wasn't at this time, it wasn't just the Democratic Party having control over Twitter. The Republican Party themselves were also contacting to have this taken care of and have these stuff taken care of. No government should be reaching out to any social media platform saying this should be removed, unless it is like a form of major domestic terrorism, such as beheadings and stuff like that. Obviously, that should be removed and our government should step forth on that. But something with American citizens, that should not be touched at all.
Correct.
Okay, you go ahead. You sound like you want to say something on that.
No, I just want to jump onto the fucking point in number 11 because
I'm about ready to get there.
yeah, because it was fucking extremely biased.
Oh yeah. All right, here we go. Number 11, since my brother's ready. Let's dive in, folks. Number 11, this system wasn't balanced. It was based on context because Twitter was overwhelmingly staffed by people of one political orientation. There were more channels, more ways to complain, open to the left, while Democrats than the right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this tab, which people cannot see. Twitter contributions to the left. Where let's see, contributions is $185,267. And then for lobbying, they ranks of $970,000 in 2022, $1.7 million in 2021 for Twitter. And let me just jump down here. And they're showing, they do show a thing here, just showing those numbers as well.
So what percent went to the Democrats versus what percent
Sure.
went to the Republicans?
So on these three here, as far as Twitter goes, we got three tiers. The comparison for tier 1 is 99.73% to which goes to the Democrats and 0.27% to the Republicans.
Very generous.
Right? Very, very generous. Down to the second tier, we got 98.47% to the Democrats, 1.53% to the Republicans.
That
And
was
then
back in
down,
2020, right?
yeah. I see. I'm unable to see all the pictures, so I'm thinking. And then we jump down to the next tier, which is 96.38 to the Democrats. And then it's 3.62% to the Republicans.
Yeah,
so the
that was
bottom
back in
tier,
2018. That was back in 18. So that's 2018 contributions were more generous to the Republicans at 3.62%. But once he jumped up, it went down.
right as the years went up,
Rose.
the percentages dropped.
Yeah.
It's fucking outrageous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And like you said, it's completely biased. So let's go to number 12. The resulting slant in content moderation decisions is visible in the documents you're about to read. However, it's also the assessment of multiple current and former high-level executives. Okay, there was more throat clearing about the process, but screw it, let's jump forward. He went from 12 to 16 pretty damn fast. Like we skipped out those numbers. So down to number 16, it says the Twitter Files Part 1, how and why Twitter blocked the Hunter Biden laptop story. And folks, this is when it gets good. Number 17, on October 14, 2020, the New York Post published Biden's secret emails and exposed based on the contents of Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop. Folks, if you're familiar with this, and I'm sure you've been following the Hunter Biden laptop, this is the story that was released by the New York Post. You can search for it. You can find it. This is that famous post that was, number one, deleted off of Twitter, blocked from being posted on the Twitter as well as Facebook. Matter of fact, at the time, the current press secretary for for our President Trump, she got banned off of Twitter because she shared out this post.
Isn't that wild?
It's fucking absolutely wild. So down to 18, Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links and posting warnings that it may be unsafe. They even blocked its transmission via direct messages, a tool hit. Okay, some of these words I don't understand, I'm going to admit. A tool hit Herdo reserved for extreme cases, an example, child pornography. Number 19, the White House spokeswoman, here we go, that's what I was just talking about. Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story, prompting a furious letter from Trump campaign staffer Mike Hahn, who seemed at least pretend to care for the next 20 days. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and click on this email here. I'm going to pull it up on this end here. I'm doing separate screens, folks. Please bear with me here. So this email came from Mike Hahn, and the subject was urgent, Kayleigh McEnany. Kayleigh McEnany, which gives her Twitter name, has been locked out of her account for simply talking about the New York Post story. All she did was cite the story and firsthand reported that has been reported by other outlets and not disputed by the Biden campaign. I need an answer immediately on when/how she will be unlocked. I also don't appreciate how nobody on this team called me regarding the news that you'll be censoring news articles. Like I said, at least pretend to care for the next 20 days.
Wow.
Give me 1 second here. We got Blue Lantern that we're waiting to see what's going to happen. The Twitter Files Part 2 is supposed to be released today. They said 9 p.m. I'm not sure if it's 9 p.m. Eastern time or if it's going to be Central or so forth. So we're keeping an eye on the Twitter to see if those files do get released today. If they do, we will be talking about them right here on air. We're going to go ahead and jump down to number 20. It says, this led to public policy executives Caroline Strom to send out a polite what the fuck query. I'm not going to abbreviate that. W2F. What the fuck query. Several employees noted that there was tension between the comm/policy teams who had little less control over moderation and the safety trust teams. And there is another email here. Let me open up that email real quickly here, and we'll go look right at that. That email states on October 15th at 7:24 a.m., Caroline Strom wrote, "Hi, team. Are you able to take a closer look here? Thank you." That's all the clip of that email says. And it goes 21. Strom's note returned the answer that the laptop story had been removed for violation of the company's hacked materials. Folks, remember, this is when they started talking about the Russian collusion, and Hunter's Biden laptop was possibly the Russians and was not really real. And this laptop has been verified. Once again, my 10-foot hat is the fuck off right now because we told you so, liberals. We told you so. Blue Lantern, I'll read your note here in just a second. I just want to finish up with number 21. This is just another little message here. It says, "Hi, Caroline. Thanks for reaching out to us. Per checking the user was bounced by site integrity for violating our hack material policy. adding them here for further insights and guidance. Thanks. That came from Elaine Ong Sato. At the time, she was an ops analyst for the Global Escalations team. So now we'll go there. And then we have a YouTube person, Blue Lantern, says, how nice of them to say 9 p.m. and not say what time zone. It's not like Twitter users live all over the I hear you. So Blue Lantern, I'll be honest with you. I'll stop right here. So folks, we'll continue on with number 22 in just a second. Let's talk about that. So my wife and I was having a conversation about that when they released them on Wednesday. There were I think it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes late for the releasing of the Twitter files on that day. And it's funny because I was telling my wife, I said, if you think about it, Elon is kind of pulling a Trump move because Trump used to do that, right? When Trump was in office, he used to sit there and say, okay, Trump will be live at 7:00. That motherfucker would not come out till 7:45 and everybody be like, is he coming on? Like what and they're casually late. Now, could they be doing that for different reasons? As I mentioned before in the show, he could be, because you think about, you build the hype, you get the algorithm up. Next thing you know, you're getting all these people jumping on a new thread. They're commenting, they're getting bots active. And this is just another way I think that Elon's doing it to try to catch bots. That's my thought process on it. I mean, I could be wrong. They could just be fucking late and deal with other things. I mean, the guy is a multi-billionaire that runs multiple businesses, but Matt Taibbi is a reporter. So why is Matt holding off? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's holding off on the words of Elon, but I'll be talking about what Elon had a conversation with in Twitter Spaces as well once we get further into this. Do you have anything you want to add before I jump into the next while I get a drink?
Well, yeah, but I think it's what you're going to be jumping into later, so I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to jump in too deep too early.
What just happened? There we go. We just had it. We just had like an internet glitch. It was quite cool. We froze. We're like,
a little glitch.
Yeah, it was a little glitch. Right. I didn't get to hit my technical difficulty button during that glitch.
I didn't glitch long enough.
No,
would it have even showed if there's a glitch? How would it have like?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hopefully Matt didn't get me. Yeah, right. I'm hoping he didn't either. We'll be talking about that too. That's something we'll be bringing up.
Both of them.
Yeah. I was when it was late on Wednesday. I asked if anybody knew the whereabouts of the Clintons.
Yeah.
So
it's not even them anymore, dude. It's like
it's not.
They got little posses all over the place, and it's so many little brainwashed fucking. God damn, it's crazy, dude.
It is. Let's go to number 22 here. Although several sources recalled hearing about general warning from federal law enforcement this summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem. Number 23, the decision was made at the highest level of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal policy and trust, I'm going to butcher this name, Vijaya playing the key role. I probably just butchered Vijaya.
Vijaya.
I
think. I don't know. Vijaya.
That's pretty easy to remember. Vijaya. Okay, Vijaya Gaddy. Got it. I was so bad with names. All right. I'll get to your comment in just a second there, Blue Lantern. They just freelanced it, is how one former employee characterized the decision. Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that wasn't going to hold, but no one had the guts to reverse it. Number 25, you can see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange, which ends up including Gaddy and former trust and safety chief Yoel Roth comms official Trenton Kennedy writes, I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for making this unsafe. After I read this policy, I'll look back at the YouTube comments as they're coming in. Folks, I do see them. I'm just trying to get through these before the next ones get released, if they do tonight. All right, so in 2020, 10/14, New York Post, Hunter Biden's laptop article, privileged and confidential. Our teams continue to investigate the origins of the material included in the reporting. Trenton Kennedy, I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe, and I think best explainability argument for this externally would be that we're waiting to understand if this story is the result of hacked materials. We'll face hard questions on this if we don't have some kind of solid reasoning for making the link unsafe. Trenton Kennedy CC'd this to YoelTwitter.com. R. Summers, Plunkett, and Crosborough. These are the people that were CC'd this email. Katie Rosborough, we will also mark similar stories as unsafe. And then there's a link to the Fox News political Hunter Biden email, Senate Homeland Security Committee investigating hard drive laptop. Excuse me. All right. Now that we got through that, let me pause. We're at number 26. Folks, we're breezing right through this here. Hopefully they do release some here very shortly. Back down over on Facebook. Blue Lantern says, Elon reminds me of the two witnesses. They consume all who come against them with fire, but fire could be a metaphor for truth. Oops, I meant to say they consume with fire from their mouths. All right. I kind of get where you're going with that, Blue Lantern. We'll be talking about Elon in a minute because Elon was live on Twitter Spaces just the other night, and it was quite the interesting thing that he said during that, which I want to talk about. I had the privilege of hearing it. Let's see. So we just went through number 26, right? Negative. We're on 26. So number 26, by this point, everyone knew this was fucked, said one former employee, but the response was essentially to err to err on the side of continuing to err.
Err.
Really?
Err, like when you err on the side of caution, you're not erring like.
This is why I failed English class. We'll get through
right.
it.
No.
I'm a Maina.
No,
All
you're
right.
good, brother. You're good. You're good.
All right, so let's go into this email here. So this is more continuing of an email conversation with Yoel Roth, Vijaya, and Plunkett. It goes, the policy basis is hacked materials, though, as discussed, this is an emerging situation where the facts remain unclear. Given the severe risk here and lessons of 2016, we're erring on the side of including a warning and preventing this content from being amplified. That came from Yoel. Then Vijaya posted, what is the warning that will come up? Yoel posted new. When you click the link, you'll see the generic unsafe URL message references spam, malware, and violations of the Twitter rules. Not ideal, but it's the only thing we have. Plunkett replies, new. Whatever we do in the comms, this will become a biased claim for Jack pre-hearing immediately. Let's make it clear we're proactively but cautiously interpreting this through the lens of our hacked materials policy and allowing the link with a warning and significant reduction of spread. So you can see right there, they're slowing it down without even having verification that this information is truly hacked or Russian.
Yeah, they're just making it look like it's unsafe, and it's not. It's just a link that they don't want people to see, so they're telling him it's fucking malware.
Blue Lantern, I don't know if it is a violation to say cuss words like vagina or not. We air our show on a proceed of caution. If we ever do get banned here on YouTube, please keep an eye on for other.
For swearing, we swear a lot, dude.
We definitely swear quite a bit. Yeah. Well, no, he was saying vagina, but
I got it.
So yeah, we're back on 26. Fuck. All right, we're on 27. Former VP of Global Comms, Brandon Borman asks, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy? And of course, we got another email here. I'm going to pull up real quickly. I'm getting pretty quick at this. Just fucking clickety click about the truckers. To Ian's point, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy? An example, as part of our approach to addressing potentially hacked materials, we are limiting the visibility of related stories on Twitter while our investigation is ongoing. So these are just the emails, folks, that are coming in throughout Twitter. And number 28, we go, to which former Deputy General Counsel Jim Baker again seems to advise staying the non-course because caution is warranted. Now, with that email, Gary, once we get to the point where you want to stop, just let me know and I will stop unless I come across anything.
Yeah.
Jim Baker wrote, privileged and confidential. I support the conclusion that we need more facts to assess whether the materials were hacked at this stage. However, it is reasonable for us to consume that they may have been and that the caution is warranted. There are some facts that indicate that the materials may have been hacked, while there are others indicating that the computer was either abandoned and or the owner consented to allow the repair shop to access it for at least some purposes. We simply need more information. And then we got, let's see here. Let's close out that one here. We're down to number 29 right now. A fundamental problem with tech companies and content moderation. Many people in charge of speech know/care little about speech and haven't been told the basics by outstanders to wit. Number 30, in one humorous exchange on day one, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna reaches out to Gaddy to gently suggest she hop on the phone to talk about the backlash, RE speech. Khanna was the only Democratic official I could find the files who expressed concern. All right. And so with that email, let's go ahead and click on that email there. On Wednesday, October 14th, 2020 at 6:21 p.m., Ro Khanna wrote, generating huge backlash on Hill regarding speech. Happy to chat if you're up for it. Best Ro, sent from the iPhone. Oh, government pays for an iPhone. That is phenomenal. All right, back to Gaddy replies quickly, immediately diving into the weeds of Twitter policy. Unaware, Khanna is more worried about the Bill of Rights. Let's go over it. All right. Oh, well, Bill of Rights. What's that?
All of a sudden.
Right? What's that?
Person that gives it.
Let's go with that email. Hi, Congressman Khanna. This came from Vijaya, by the way. Thank you for reaching out, and we appreciate the heads up. We put out a clarifying thread of tweets earlier this evening to explain our policy around the posting of private information and linking directly to hacked materials. The press secretary's account was not permanently suspended. We requested that she delete the tweet containing material that is in violation of our rules, and her account is restricted until she complies. I'd be happy to jump on the phone if helpful. My team in DC, Jessica and Lauren, are copied here and also available to discuss. Let's talk about that for a minute. So number one, they still don't know if the information is quote unquote fake or real, but yet they're still blocking and tagging it, and they will not allow the press secretary to continue her tweeting because she refuses to delete a tweet that she believes is legit. And until we know otherwise, there's no reason to do the censorship that they're doing. Let's continue on. Okay, so we're now number 32. Wow, we're cruising here. Khanna tries to reroute the conversation to the First Amendment, mention of which is generally hard to find in the files. So Khanna does respond back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a little bit of a longer email here. So our Khanna to Vijaya Gaddy wrote, Khanna. All right, so there's an email. I'm not going to read out the email, but it's there for you folks if you look it up on Twitter.
On the
tweeter, folks. We're gonna get this right about now. Let's go. This seems a violation of the First Amendment principles if there's a hack of classified information or other information that could expose a serious war crime, and the NYT was to publish it. I think the NYT, which is the New York Times, folks, should have the right. A journalist should not be held accountable for the illegal actions of the source unless they actively aided to hack. So to restrict the distribution of the material, especially regarding a presidential candidate, seems not in the keeping of the principles of NYT versus Sullivan. I say this as a total Biden partisan and convinced he didn't do anything wrong, but the story now has become more about censorship than relatively innocuous, I hope I said that right, emails, and it becomes a bigger deal than it would have been. It also is now leading to serious efforts to curtail Section 230, many of which would have been a mistake. I believe Twitter itself should curtail what it recommends or puts in trending news, and your policy against QAnon groups. It's all good. It's a hard balance. But in the heat of presidential campaign, restricting dissemination of newspaper articles, even New York Post, is far right. Seems like it will invite more backlash than it will do good. Please keep the communication between just us and Jack, and no need to CC the team forward to them. Just wanted to offer my 2 cents. Now, my question is, at this point, did Jack Dorsey know anything yet? Or is Jack Dorsey still in the black?
Seems like because of this email right now that he's probably still being kept somewhat in the dark, right?
That's what I'm thinking. All right, folks, I'm going to stop right here real quick. I'm going to look over on YouTube. We got a very active listener over here, Blue Lantern, going down over here. All right, who cares if they were hacked? No one. It's just an excuse not to cover it. Understood there. Vijaya is guilty of election interference, maybe more than anyone else, including China and Russia. I definitely agree with Vijaya there. I definitely believe that there has been takes between China and Russia with certain other things as well. Is it even possible to get electronic documents without the current definition of a hack? There is, and there is the legal ways. Yes, if court order paperwork and stuff
Who
like that.
cares?
Yes,
You got to fucking hack them, hack them.
right. That's it.
I mean, if it comes down for like national security, that's not, you know what I mean? National security, I think, is a different level than, I don't know.
Right.
Snowden's not a criminal.
Snowden's definitely not a criminal. I voted on that little poll that Elon took.
Yeah, right.
Number 33, we're down to, though. Within a day, head of public policy Lauren Culbertson received a ghastly letter / report from Carlos Sasbo of the research firm Net Choice, which had already polled 12 members of Congress, 9 R's and 3 Democrats, so 9 Republicans and 3 Democrats, from the House Judiciary Committee to Representative Judy Chu's office. Let's open up this email here. So in this email came from Carl Sasbo, went to Lauren Culbertson, and it was also CC to Steve Delbancio. I'm probably saying that so wrong. I'm sorry if I butcher anybody's name. Robert Winterton and Chris Marchese. Lauren, yesterday, Net Choice Chris Marchese met informally with 9 Republicans and 3 Democrats House staffers to gather intel about Facebook and Twitter and the New York Post story. The staffers hail from the House Judiciary Committee to Representative Judy Chu's office. So that email didn't really say much. I don't even know why I had to read that one, but I'm going through this, folks, just as it's going down on Twitter here. Then there's a reply, Hillary. Oh, wait, number 33. Where are we at? Where is 34? Stand by, folks. We've lost 34. Gary, you got anything to add while I'm looking for 34?
I was just looking for 34.
Oh, you were looking for 34 too? Fantastic. Yeah. Folks, like I was saying, though, this should...
So 34, 35.
Are they on a separate thread?
I feel like they are on a separate thread.
All right, give me 1 second here. I'm going through real quick. Folks, there. Okay, so I found 36. Okay, so we're just about done here. I found 34. All right, here we go. So it is on like so that's why I'm saying, like, this shit gets confusing.
It is. You got to look for some of this stuff.
It does. It gets absolutely confusing.
You got to dig.
Got to dig, man. Get out your shovel, bitches. We're going knee deep.
Hey, it's good though, right? Don't make it easy to.
Right, that's it. So number 34, Net Choice lets Twitter know a bloodbath awaits in upcoming Hill hearings, with members saying it's tipping point, complaining tech has grown so big that they can't even regulate themselves, so government may need to intervene. Sounds like government's already been intervening, but let's go into this email over here. This email, high-level takeaway. Every Republican said this is a tipping point. It's just too much, and both Democrats and Republicans were angry. All right, so then we're going to go to 35, which I'm going to scroll upwards for 35. Sasbo reports to Twitter that some Hill figures are characterizing the laptop story as tech access Hollywood moment. Let me click on that email here. When asked just how bad the situation is, one staffer said it's tech access Hollywood moment and it has no Hillary to hide behind. Others were more blunt. Tech is screwed, and rightfully so. And then we're going to scroll up to number 36. Twitter files continue. The First Amendment isn't absolute. Sasbo's letter contains chilling passages relaying Democratic lawmakers' attitudes. They want more moderation, and as for the Bill of Rights, it's just not absolute. Let's go into that email, shall we? With this email here, I'm getting that email loaded up right now. The Democrats, meanwhile, complain that the companies are inept. Sorry, this is not an email. I'm going to restart that. The Democrats, meanwhile, complain that the companies are inept. They let conservatives muddy the water and make the Biden campaign look corrupt. Even though Biden is innocent, they link this to Hillary Clinton's email scandal. She did nothing wrong, but because the press wouldn't let the story go, it became a scandal far out of proportion in their minds. Social media is doing the same thing. It doesn't moderate enough harmful content, so when it does, like it did yesterday, it becomes a story. If the companies moderated more, conservatives wouldn't even think to use social media for disinformation, misinformation, or otherwise. The Democrats were in agreement social media needs to moderate more because they're corrupting democracy and making all truth relative when pushed on how the government might insist on that. Consistent with the First Amendment, they demurred the First Amendment isn't absolute. And that is the last bit that came out as far as the Twitter files go. I don't believe nothing else has been released yet. I'm I'm going to check real quick on the thread of Matt and see if anything's out here, folks. Just give me 1 second.
God damn, the mental gymnastics that they are playing with people is insane.
It's absolutely asinine, man. It's insane.
It's
scary.
gaslighting to like the fucking maximum degree. Like they're doing literally exactly what they say the other people are doing.
Exactly.
It's like I punch you in the face, and I was like, "Why did you punch me in the face?" And you're just like, "What?" I punch you in the face again, and I'm like, "Why you keep punching me in the face?" And you're just like, what?" It's like,
I didn't punch you. You
you're
punched
like,
me.
This isn't making sense. I punch you again. I'm like, "Mark, stop hitting me, dude." And then you're just like, I'm so confused right now. It's like, right? It's like that's what's happening. That's what the fucking politicians are doing. It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Blue Lantern, is it even possible to get elected? Okay, we read that one. Vijaya stifled informed consent when it came to the jab. That is a crime against humanity. So yeah, I'll be curious. Like, I'm hoping the more Twitter files, you can check outside that door, see if they came here, son. I will be curious if anything in regards to the jab is going to come out of the Twitter files. I really am. What information may be suppressed. Hold on a second. I'm going to give my son my phone. Here, try calling him, Zach. There you go. I'm on podcast. Sorry, folks. This is what happens when you're a dad of 5 kids and one of them's awake and roaming around as one of your oldest. He left his phone at work. So, like, he's trying to see if a delivery driver will bring his phone to him.
You better order some chicken wings or something.
He brought home, dude. Listen, so
Oh.
he works at the place when I originally started out, the fast food restaurant, not the fast food, and like he's back there. And let me tell you, this kid brought home steak and cheese subs. He brought home freaking pizzas. I'm like, he's like, want some of this, Dad? I'm like, no, dude. I'm about ready to record a podcast. I eat that food now. 10 minutes later, and be like, all right, folks, technical difficulties. We'll be back in a half hour. But no, man, seriously though, it is absolutely scary. And I will be curious as far how far this goes. That's why I was really hoping Matt was going to post some stuff. Like, I'm refreshing like a madman over here to see if anything's coming up.
Yeah,
and I'm not, right?
Window too.
Because if they're willing to go as far as this to suppress one thing about the one article about the Hunter Biden's laptop, how far are they able to go to suppress more information in regards to the jab? As far as all the reports about the jab, as far as causing myocarditis to children, to people having severe side effects, people dropping dead in fields after being vaccinated. I mean, the list goes on in regards to this freaking jab. And this is where I'm going to get a little skating on ice on these social media platforms because we're talking about this. But, or how about people, being forced to get this or they're going to lose their jobs? Like, how much more of the suppression happens? How deep is Facebook?
Can't even imagine, dude.
Right? How deep are all these other social media platforms?
It's all run by China.
It is. Like, you think about it, how deep? I know they say ban TikTok, this and that, but how deep really is TikTok? Does the government have their hands on TikTok as well?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean,
these are like completely different, dude. Like here they got people doing stupid ass contests, dumbass TikTok challenges. And then like in China, they have it like showing people who are like young being engineers and being like successful at shit. It's completely different,
right?
It's more educational over there. Over here, it's like definitely mindless entertainment that's like definitely dumbing people to dirt. Like people are becoming fucking dumb.
Agreed. And I'm one of those content creators. What?
You are.
I am. Blue Lamp post on YouTube says, according to the White House, inflation's my fault for splurging. I have heard that. I have heard that. But real quick, before we start talking about some other things,
$600 purchases, low key there, big guy.
I'll tell you something funny about the state of Maine in a second too. What they're trying to pass without going through the proper House channels, mind you. Something Janet Mills is doing, which is absolutely ridiculous. But first, folks, we just read the Twitter files. Like I said, we're still waiting to see if the second batch goes through. We'll check all the way up until the time that we end this podcast. As of now, there is nothing on here as of yet. Like I said, I'm going to keep refreshing throughout this time. But Elon Musk was in Twitter Spaces. One of the comments that he made on there stuck out. He said, I in no means am I ever going to commit suicide or cause harm to myself. So if I happen to commit suicide, no, it wasn't me. He legitimately said that in the Twitter Spaces. Like,
that's
no, go for it. Go for it. I'll get a drink.
It's real. You know what I mean? Like he's definitely stirring the pot against a very powerful elite, and they're in charge of everything, and he's fucking up their narrative big time right now. He's definitely putting a delay. He's definitely changing the view of the public. And I was even looking online today just to like see if the general mainstream news was covering it. And even the spin that they were trying to put on it was just kind of weird. Just fucking weird, man. They want to control the power so badly. You know?
They do. Well, the day afterwards, it was nothing but crickets. The only news station two news stations was Newsmax and Fox News. There were only two, like that same day when it was released, were the only ones that said anything. Wow. ABC News, MSNBC News, none of them were saying anything in regards to the Twitter files on the day that it was released. So it's quite interesting, right? And you're talking about the spinning of words, right? Of media.
Absolutely.
So you sent me a message earlier talking about I'm done with fucking Trump, dude. No, remember, because of the way that it was spun on his wording.
I'm not backing him, dude. I heard what he said about drug dealers and all that, and we were supposed to talk about that 2 weeks ago or whatever.
We were. We just never went there. But no. Listen, you don't have to back him, right? It's just another way the words are spun, right? Totally. So you heard him with regards to the Constitution, which was completely spun and wrote up a different way, which was not, in fact, what he actually said in regards to the Constitution. He never said to throw the Constitution out.
But I did hear out of his mouth what he said he wants to do to drug dealers, and I'm not on that team.
Right. You're not into the death penalty.
Not for fucking drugs. No.
We can have that conversation another time. Twitter space is a hot topic. That's another topic because I do want to try pulling in some guests for that one. Right. I think that'll be a very good show. The death penalty for drug dealers is such a dumb platform. Not sure what the hell he's thinking. Blue Lantern says,
"Fucking idiot."
That's
we'll talk about that another time. We're talking about Twitter.
That's what we're doing. Twitter files today. We'll talk about the death penalty another day.
All right, Twitter files.
Let's just say we had a good 45-minute conversation on the phone, folks, in regards to the death penalty. We'll go into that one more detailed in another episode. For sure. Folks, once again, while we're just shooting the shit here real quick, if anybody wants to jump in and chime in over on the Wisdom app, feel free to hit that request button and chime in and let us know what your thoughts are on the Twitter files and where you think this is going and how far this could go. What could possibly Congress do to take action in regards to what's going on, especially as more information goes out? Because I'm sure, as I'm thinking and you guys are thinking, that as soon as that first batch came out, there's heads already shaking. People are already running. Files are being shredded. Yeah. People don't know what the hell they're doing right now. They're scared right now because there's probably more confidential information out there that's about ready to get pushed out. That's going to get a lot of people in trouble.
I really hope so. And it's fucked up to like want to wish the collapse of your government, right? But it's the corruption on both sides. It's fucking too much, man. It's too much. Honestly, like the people deserve better.
They do.
So, like, it's crazy to witness this shit happening, but it's like you got to rip the Band-Aid off, you know?
You do, man. You do. Blue Lantern says, as much as I'm rooting for Elon, I'm still never getting the brain chip. Sorry, Elon. And then that we skipped it down to death penalty. I must have missed that one that he wrote there. He's using overages to assume the drug dealers killed 500 people. The terror laws are already being... Stop, Blue Lantern. We're holding off to the damn death penalty until next week. I'll do it next week. I'll talk about the death penalty next week.
Join us next week, Blue Lantern, and we could fucking gang up on my brother.
Y'all can gang up on me on the death penalty next week, unless Twitter files are out. Then we'll be doing Twitter files.
Yeah, and
next
then
week.
maybe we might be distracted with something else. But
But for now, we're talking about
All right.
Elon Musk,
all right.
Twitter files, going deep into the Twitter files. No, man. I mean, it's insane. It's scary. I want to watch this closely. I want to see where this is going to go. I really do hope that more and more people do look up on this. And for those, like, I know there's still people like clueless on the Twitter files. I bet you if I call my mom, who's a hardcore liberal, and say, hey, hear about the Twitter files? You hear what the Democratic Party was doing and suppressing our First Amendment rights?
It was fucking fake.
Shut
I
it.
don't know.
That's the Russians, Mike. They lying to you. Your fucking Trumpy does all that shit. No, man, it'll be a horrible conversation at that point. I'd have to hang up my phone and not call her for 2 weeks. And then she'll call me, it's your mother you fucking forgot about. Oh, shit. I didn't forget about you. I'm just letting that air calm down, Mom, before we rip each other's heads off, you see, because you go one way, I go another way.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
It is. It is. Like you don't want to burn bridges of family, and I will never burn bridges of family or political stances. I'll just kind of just put myself off to the side. I'm like, okay, listen, I see where we stand. Let's let this fire dwindle. So we'll step back. We'll reconvene in a week. We'll talk again in a week. We'll see where it goes. If we start talking about something that comes back down to being political, well, then we're going to do the same thing. Rinse and repeat. I'll get back to you in a week. That's all you can really do, man. I'll never burn bridges with friends or family or political fences. I really don't care. Like I've said it numerous times on the show. I don't care where people stand politically. You know, it's their choice. They have every right to do it. It's their American right. But don't tell me what my American rights where they stop. And unfortunately, that's what we're seeing in Twitter files. You're chuckling. What you chuckling?
I just like as you're saying that shit, I just hear the fucking propaganda from people yelling at me who like left the gym that I go to, and they're just like gnarly progressives, and it's like it's just crazy, man. Just to like hear the echoes of their shit talking.
You know what you should do one of these days when you go to the gym? Wait till the next Twitter files come out. Buy a baseball cap, wrap it up in aluminum foil. Walk in the gym, just take off the hat, say, my aluminum hat's off, bitches.
Dude, my gym is there's a large percentage of like-minded individuals. They like guns and they like freedom.
Right? I love my guns. I really do. I love my guns.
And they like business. They like making money.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not making that much money right now. Blue Lantern, my mom said vote blue no matter who. I told her that she is a blue no matter who person. She said no, she isn't. Leftists are under some kind of spell that steals logic. I will agree with you there. I will 100% agree with you there, Blue Lantern, that the people who are far left won't open their mind to anything else, and they automatically think that Orange Man's bad and everything that comes out of Biden's mouth is 100% true. So, you know, if they listen to him, like I've even told my mom on the phone before, I said, Mom, why are you talking to me? What do you mean? So what am I talking to? According to your president, I'm a domestic terrorist. No, you're not. That's hard. No.
She might turn you in, dude. You could like don't keep giving her ideas, you know.
She can try. That'd be a fun one. Don't come busting down my door with a search warrant. You're gonna want to knock nicely. Don't kick in my door. I don't take in the door kickings lightly.
Yeah, right. No one in the household does, in fact. So
no, not at all. We do not like people kicking at our doors. I don't ever want to hear this. I don't ever want to hear that on my door.
I don't hear anything. So
and Gary did not hear that.
Nope. Silence.
Well, to say so that
you don't want to hear silence, man. I'm sorry. I feel
never. I hate the fuckers. No.
That's why you got 5 kids. I guess.
Shut up. They probably didn't hear it on the podcast side neither. It's my soundboard, dude. I got to figure this shit out. Like I was just trying to use my soundboard. It was actually an audio file of the FBI knocking on the door. It says FBI, open up it. It was kind of a funny skit, but it obviously ain't funny if it don't fucking work.
I mean, it would have worked if the audio, that audio file worked.
Yeah, the audio file came on my side. It just didn't work on your side. You see, I'm special, you're not. That's how it works, Gary.
True. No lies detected.
No, man. So listen, folks. I mean, that's really all I wanted to come on here for the show was to talk about the Twitter files. And I was really, really hoping that the Twitter files were going to get released during this. If I'm opening up the floor right now to anybody who's listening throughout Wisdom, we got 31 people out on Wisdom. If anybody would like to chime in on their opinions on the Twitter files, please feel free to jump in here. And yeah, let's chat. If not, we can just start wrapping things up here. I'm just waiting now. Do you got anything you want to talk about, brother? Like any opinions on what's going on? Or did you already get that out as well?
No, I mean, again, I can reiterate. I think it's a good thing what he's doing. I hope he doesn't go missing or fall extremely ill or have some weird catastrophic engine failure or some weird accident within the next 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like he's doing the right thing. And I think
he's definitely doing the right thing.
Pissing off some really powerful people. And it's not like, other people haven't been intentionally made disappear and it was designed to look like an accident. And I know that's fucking crazy and conspiratorial, but like, I honestly, it's just too weird. You know what I mean? Too many fucking weird coincidences. And I hope that he doesn't end up a statistic like that, because I fucking appreciate all crazy, stupid shit he's doing.
I was just going to Matt's website to see if maybe we got a special peek on Matt's website if there's anything there, but there was nothing there neither. But yeah, no, I want, like you would say, my prayers are going out to Elon Musk and his family, that they are safe, protected for anything that may come their way, because anybody who does come against the government does sometimes disappear many different forms of way. Hell, here I am, my conspiracy theorist. Tupac Shakur, I think, was taken care of due to certain things. He was cutting it close quite a bit with a lot of his stuff with law enforcement that he was going after.
Really?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. You'd have to look into the Tupac Shakur story, but he was he had a lot of information on LAPD and NYPD and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did not think about that.
Yeah. So, it's just, that's my conspiracy theory. Like, I don't believe he's alive, but I believe that there's more to the story on his murder. But as far as Elon Musk goes, Epstein didn't hang himself.
Definitely.
So, just there's a lot of sketchy stuff out there. So, Elon, just know that for a lot of Americans, you are considered a true American patriot. Coming out and releasing that information, it takes a lot of balls. Definitely takes a lot of balls for someone to come out here and say, you know what? I bought this company. Now I'm going to release all this information to show what they did wrong. And you're trying to make right with it. So I appreciate that work. If you ever hear this, you probably won't. I'm a small time guy over here in the Mark G show. But hey, you never know who is ever tuning in or listening from wherever. But now that's about it, man. I got nothing. No one's chiming in on Wisdom tonight. So I think we're good, folks. Blue Lantern, let me go down real quick. He said no Twitter file because Trump wants the death penalty. Shut up about the death penalty, Blue Lantern. We will talk about the death penalty next week, as long as the Twitter files are not released. If the Twitter files get released by next week, unfortunately, I will be going straight back to the Twitter files again this time at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. That is the day that we record the podcast. That's it, man. I guess we're done.
All
I
right.
appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Y'all phenomenal. Gary, hang by, and yeah, I'm going to transition us out. Trump going to kill all whistleblowers. Yeah, well, if that's the case, that's a lot of FBI whistleblowers, man. Maybe we'll talk about them next week too.
It's a lot of IRS agents too. What the fuck?
Right? Screw the IRS. Let's stop income tax, man. Let's end income tax. That'd be a beautiful thing. All right, everybody. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. We're out of here.
You've been listening to the Snowflake Melter, the Mark G Show. Mark is your everyday hardworking business owner that loves America, and he certainly doesn't mind telling it like it is. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. To send an email, it's on air at themarkgshow.com. And find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Mark G Show. See you next time.
Macho Man!